Your vision isn't failing because you're getting older. It's failing because your eyes are starving. And tonight, before you go to sleep, one small handful of the right food could begin reversing damage that doctors told you was permanent. Most people over 60 are making a silent mistake every single night. They go to bed without giving their eyes the one thing they desperately need to repair themselves. And by morning, the damage compounds, day after day, year after year. But here's what the mainstream medical world isn't telling you. Your eyes do their most powerful healing while you sleep. The right nutrients, taken at the right time, can trigger a regeneration process that most people never activate. Not because it's complicated, because nobody told them what to eat. Stay with me until the end, because the number one food on this list is so powerful that a study published in the Journal of Clinical Nutrition found it improved night vision and reduced macular degeneration risk by up to 47% in adults over 60. And yet, most people throw it away, feed it to their dogs, or leave it sitting in their kitchen completely ignored. I'm Dr. Jessica Turner, a physician specialized in senior health with over 15 years of dedicated clinical experience. I've worked with thousands of men and women over 60 who came to me terrified of losing their independence, terrified of the day they could no longer drive, no longer read, no longer recognize the faces of the people they love. What I'm about to share goes against everything most eye doctors will tell you in a standard 15-minute appointment. The pharmaceutical industry profits enormously from the idea that vision loss is inevitable and that expensive interventions are your only option. But I've seen it with my own eyes, patient after patient, and I refuse to stay silent any longer. Your vision can recover, and it can start tonight. Here's what's happening inside your body right now if you're over 60. Your retina, the thin layer of tissue at the back of your eye that converts light into the images you see, is slowly being starved of the specific antioxidants and nutrients it needs to survive. After 60, your body produces dramatically less of two critical protective pigments called lutein and zeaxanthin. These two compounds act as your eye's natural sunscreen. They filter harmful blue light, neutralize free radicals, and protect the delicate photoreceptor cells in your macula, the part of your eye responsible for sharp central vision. Without adequate levels of these pigments, your macula begins to thin, your photoreceptors begin to deteriorate, and what your doctor calls age-related macular degeneration begins its quiet, devastating march. But that's not all that's happening. After 60, blood circulation to the tiny capillaries feeding your eyes slows significantly. Your tear production decreases, leaving the surface of your eye chronically inflamed. Your lens gradually loses flexibility and begins to cloud. And your optic nerve, which carries visual signals to your brain, becomes increasingly vulnerable to oxidative stress. The medical community has known about this for decades, and yet the standard advice remains the same. Get your annual eye exam. Consider glasses or surgery. Hope for the best. What they're not telling you is that specific foods, eaten at a specific time of day, can flood your eyes with the exact compounds they need to begin reversing this damage. And the best time to eat them? Right before you go to sleep. Because that's when your body shifts into deep repair mode. That's when your cells regenerate. That's when your eyes, if given the right raw materials, can begin healing themselves. If this information already seems valuable to you, hit that like button right now. And let me ask you something. How old are you? Are you in your 60s, 70s, maybe beyond? If you've noticed your vision getting worse in recent years, type vision in the comments below. Let's see just how many of us are dealing with this silently. Now let's get into it. I've ranked these 7 foods from helpful to absolutely essential. By the time we reach number 1, you're going to understand exactly why your eyes have been struggling and exactly what to do about it starting tonight. Number 7. Carrots. Yes, your grandmother was right, but probably not for the reason you think. Most people know that carrots contain beta-carotene, which the body converts into vitamin A. And vitamin A is critical for producing rhodopsin, the pigment in your rod cells that allows you to see in low-light conditions. But here's what most people don't know. The beta-carotene in raw carrots is actually poorly absorbed by the body. A study published in Frontiers in Aging found that eating carrots with a small amount of healthy fat increases beta-carotene absorption by up to 65%. So a handful of baby carrots with a few almonds before bed isn't just a snack. It's a targeted delivery system for your eyes. After 60, vitamin A deficiency is far more common than most doctors acknowledge. And the first symptom, the one that shows up before anything else, is difficulty seeing at night. If you've noticed that driving after dark feels harder than it used to, that streetlights seem blurry, that you need more light to read in the evening, vitamin A deficiency may be playing a major role. How to use it. Eat a small handful of baby carrots, roughly 8 to 10, paired with a few walnuts or a drizzle of olive oil, about 45 minutes before bed. Cooked carrots actually release more beta-carotene than raw ones, so if you prefer, a small portion of steamed or roasted carrots works even better. Pro tip: combine your carrots with a pinch of black pepper. Piperine, the active compound in black pepper, has been shown to enhance the absorption of fat-soluble nutrients including beta-carotene by up to 20%. Number 6. Kiwi fruit. This small, fuzzy fruit is one of the most underrated vision foods on the planet, and almost nobody over 60 is eating it regularly. Kiwi is one of the highest natural sources of vitamin C per serving, containing more than oranges by weight. But for your eyes, what matters even more is that kiwi contains a unique combination of lutein and zeaxanthin alongside vitamin C, creating a synergistic effect that no supplement can fully replicate. A landmark study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition followed adults over 60 for 8 years and found that those who consumed the highest levels of lutein and zeaxanthin had a 43% lower risk of developing advanced macular degeneration compared to those with the lowest levels. Kiwi delivers both, and unlike many supplements, it delivers them in a form your body recognizes and absorbs efficiently. Vitamin C also plays a critical role in protecting the lens of your eye from oxidative damage, the primary driver of cataract formation. Research from the Journal of Ophthalmology found that women with the highest vitamin C intake had a 33% lower risk of developing nuclear cataracts, the most common type affecting adults over 60. How to use it. Eat 1 to 2 kiwi fruits about an hour before bed. You can eat them whole, slice them in half and scoop with a spoon, or blend them into a small smoothie. The key is consistency. 1 kiwi before bed every night is more powerful than 3 kiwis once a week. Pro tip: don't peel them. The skin of a kiwi contains a concentrated source of prebiotic fiber and additional antioxidants. It tastes slightly tart, but is completely edible and significantly boosts the nutritional value. Number 5. Pumpkin seeds. Here's where things start getting really interesting. Pumpkin seeds, that small handful you might toss into a salad or eat as a snack, are one of the richest plant-based sources of zinc on the planet. And zinc is, without exaggeration, one of the most critical minerals for eye health after 60. Yet zinc deficiency affects an estimated 40% of older adults in the United States. Here's why this matters so profoundly. Zinc is the mineral that transports vitamin A from your liver to your retina, where it's used to produce protective eye pigment. Without adequate zinc, all the vitamin A in the world can't reach your eyes effectively. It's like having the perfect medicine but no way to deliver it. Zinc also plays a direct role in the function of enzymes that protect your retina from oxidative damage, and research has shown that low zinc levels significantly accelerate the progression of macular degeneration. A major clinical trial called the Age-Related Eye Disease Study, one of the most significant eye research projects ever conducted, found that zinc supplementation reduced the risk of advanced macular degeneration by 25% in high-risk individuals. But here's what the supplement companies don't want you to know. Getting zinc from whole food sources like pumpkin seeds is significantly more bioavailable than most zinc supplements, and it comes packaged with magnesium, healthy fats, and amino acids that support the entire eye repair process. How to use it. Eat a small handful, roughly 1 ounce or about 85 seeds, before bed. Lightly roasted pumpkin seeds are fine. Raw seeds are slightly more nutritious. Avoid heavily salted or flavored varieties. Pro tip: pumpkin seeds are also one of the best natural sources of tryptophan, the precursor to melatonin. This means your bedtime snack of pumpkin seeds is doing double duty, protecting your eyes and improving your sleep quality simultaneously. Before we continue, if you're finding this valuable, please hit like and subscribe so you won't miss the simple tips we share every week. And I want to make one more request. Think about someone you know over 60 who's been struggling with their vision. A parent, a friend, a neighbor. Share this video with them. A simple click could genuinely change their life. Number 4. Blueberries. If there's one fruit that has earned its reputation as a vision superfood, it's the blueberry. And the science behind why is extraordinary. Blueberries contain a unique class of antioxidants called anthocyanins, the pigments responsible for their deep blue-purple color. These compounds have a remarkable and specific affinity for ocular tissue, meaning they are preferentially absorbed and concentrated in your eyes over other parts of your body. Research published in the Journal of Applied Physiology found that anthocyanins from blueberries accelerated the regeneration of rhodopsin, the visual pigment in your rod cells that degrades with light exposure throughout the day, by up to 40% compared to a control group. This means better night vision, faster visual adaptation when moving from bright to dark environments, and significantly reduced eye fatigue. But the benefits go even deeper. Anthocyanins have been shown to strengthen the tiny capillaries that supply blood to your retina. After 60, these microvessels become increasingly fragile and prone to leakage, a phenomenon that drives diabetic retinopathy and contributes to macular damage. Blueberries literally reinforce the walls of these vessels, improving circulation to your retina while simultaneously reducing inflammation. I remember Patricia, a 71-year-old retired school teacher from Chicago. She came to my office deeply distressed. For 2 years, she had been struggling with what she described as a persistent gray fog in the center of her vision, especially in the morning and at night. She'd been told by her ophthalmologist that she had early-stage macular degeneration and that her options were limited. She was terrified. She had always been an avid reader, and the thought of losing that connection to the world she loved was crushing her. I introduced her to a simple bedtime nutrition protocol. Nothing complicated, nothing expensive. A small bowl of blueberries, half a cup, every evening before bed, along with a few other items we'll discuss today. 6 weeks later, she came back to my office. She said, "Dr. Turner, I don't know how to explain it, but the fog is lighter. I can read again in the evening without the strain I had before. My husband thinks I'm imagining things, but I know what I feel." She wasn't imagining it. Her body was finally getting what it needed. And you can experience exactly the same thing. How to use it. Half a cup of fresh or frozen blueberries before bed. Frozen blueberries are just as nutritious as fresh ones and often significantly cheaper. You can eat them thawed, blended with a small amount of yogurt, or simply frozen as a late-night snack. Pro tip. Wild blueberries, often found in the frozen section of grocery stores, contain roughly twice the anthocyanin concentration of cultivated blueberries. If you can find them, choose wild. Number 3. Eggs. This might surprise you. Eggs are arguably the single most complete eye health food available. And yet, millions of people over 60 have been convinced to avoid them or to eat only the whites based on outdated concerns about cholesterol that the current research does not support. Here's the truth about eggs in your eyes. Egg yolks contain lutein and zeaxanthin in their most bioavailable form, more bioavailable than leafy greens, more bioavailable than most supplements. A study published in the Journal of Nutrition found that consuming egg yolks daily for 5 weeks increased blood levels of lutein by 26% and zeaxanthin by an astonishing 38%. Spinach, eaten over the same period, increased lutein by only 9%. The reason is the fat matrix surrounding the carotenoids in the egg yolk, which dramatically enhances absorption in ways that plant sources simply cannot match. Eggs are also rich in omega-3 fatty acids, particularly in pasture-raised varieties, and contain cysteine and sulfur compounds that support the production of glutathione, one of the most powerful antioxidants naturally produced by your body, and the primary defender of your lens against cataract formation. If you believe that food can be your most powerful medicine for vision health, type yes in the comments. If you're still skeptical, type 0. Your response helps others watching know they're not alone. How to use it. 1 to 2 whole eggs in the evening, at least 3 to 4 hours before bed if you prefer a cooked preparation, or as a light scramble earlier in the evening. The yolk is where the vision power lives. Do not discard it. Pro tip. Choose pasture-raised eggs whenever possible. They contain up to 3 times more omega-3 fatty acids and significantly higher lutein concentrations than conventional eggs. The difference is visible in the yolk. A deep orange yolk indicates higher carotenoid content. Number 2. Spinach and dark leafy greens. We've talked about lutein and zeaxanthin throughout this video, and for good reason. These 2 carotenoids are the primary protective pigments of your macula, and they are found in higher concentrations in dark leafy greens than in almost any other food category. But the story of spinach and your eyes goes far beyond these 2 compounds. Dark leafy greens like spinach, kale, and collard greens are also rich in nitrates, which your body converts into nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is a vasodilator, meaning it opens up and relaxes blood vessels, improving blood flow throughout your body, including to the tiny capillaries that feed your retina and optic nerve. Research published in the New England Journal of Medicine found that regular consumption of nitrate-rich vegetables was associated with a 21% reduction in the risk of open-angle glaucoma, the most common form of glaucoma affecting adults over 60, which is driven in large part by insufficient blood flow to the optic nerve. Spinach also contains exceptionally high levels of vitamin K, which plays a surprising and underappreciated role in eye health by preventing calcification of blood vessels, maintaining the flexibility and integrity of the tiny vessels supplying your eyes. I want to tell you about James, a 78-year-old retired engineer from Boston. He came to my office with a frightening complaint. He had begun to lose peripheral vision in his left eye. Testing confirmed the early stages of glaucoma. His eye pressure was elevated, and his ophthalmologist had recommended prescription eye drops that James was deeply reluctant to use due to the side effects he had read about. I worked with James on a comprehensive nutritional protocol centered around a daily evening serving of dark leafy greens prepared with a small amount of olive oil, which significantly enhances the absorption of fat-soluble carotenoids. 3 months later, James returned for follow-up testing. His eye pressure had decreased by an amount that surprised even his ophthalmologist. He told me, "Doctor, I feel like I got in front of something that was going to take everything from me. I'm not giving up my vision without a fight." He wasn't giving up. And neither should you. How to use it. 1 to 2 cups of fresh spinach, sautéed lightly in olive oil or consumed as a salad, with your evening meal. If you prefer a convenient option, a green smoothie with spinach, kiwi, and a few blueberries covers 3 items on this list simultaneously and takes less than 3 minutes to prepare. Pro tip: lightly cooking spinach actually increases the bioavailability of certain nutrients, including lutein, compared to raw. A quick 2-minute sauté in olive oil is the optimal preparation method for maximum eye health benefit. Now I want to hear from you. Have you ever noticed your vision changing and wondered whether nutrition might play a role? Share your experience in the comments. I read every single one. Your story matters, and it may inspire someone else who is watching and feeling alone in this struggle. And now we've arrived at number 1, the one food I teased at the very beginning, the one that most people overlook, underestimate, or actively throw away. Are you ready? Number 1, egg yolk paired with saffron. Wait, before you move on, I know what you're thinking. Saffron? That expensive spice? Hear me out, because the research on saffron and vision is some of the most remarkable data I have encountered in my 15 years of clinical practice. A double-blind, placebo-controlled clinical trial published in the journal Investigative Ophthalmology and Visual Science gave participants with early-stage age-related macular degeneration 20 milligrams of saffron daily for 3 months. The results were extraordinary. Participants showed measurable improvements in retinal function, specifically in the sensitivity and response time of their photoreceptor cells, the very cells responsible for converting light into vision. The improvement was statistically significant, reproducible, and the researchers described it as, to their knowledge, the first time a nutritional intervention had demonstrated measurable reversal of macular degeneration in a controlled clinical setting. Follow-up research published in Frontiers in Aging Neuroscience found that saffron's primary active compounds, crocin and crocodin, protect photoreceptor cells from light-induced oxidative damage, reduce retinal inflammation, improve microcirculation to the retina, and, critically, prevent the abnormal cell death of photoreceptor cells that drives the progressive vision loss of macular degeneration. The same compounds have shown neuroprotective effects on the optic nerve, suggesting potential benefit for glaucoma as well. And here's the truly remarkable part. The dosage required to achieve these effects is tiny, just a pinch, roughly 20 to 30 milligrams, which is what you get from a few strands of saffron steeped in warm liquid. That's it. Now, the reason I pair saffron with egg yolk is not accidental. The carotenoids in saffron, crocin, and crocatin are fat-soluble compounds. They require dietary fat for proper absorption. The fat matrix of an egg yolk is one of the most efficient delivery vehicles for fat-soluble nutrients known to nutritional science. The combination is not just additive, it is synergistic. Here is how to prepare it. Take 4 to 6 strands of saffron. Steep them in 2 tablespoons of warm, not boiling, water for 10 minutes. The water will turn a deep golden color. Whisk this liquid into the yolk of 1 egg, beaten lightly. You can consume this raw, as in a very small eggnog-like preparation, or stir it into a warm dish. Consume it 30 to 45 minutes before bed. Now let me tell you about Linda, a 69-year-old retired nurse from Minneapolis. Linda came to me with a problem that had become her obsession. Her central vision had been deteriorating for 18 months. Reading, which had been her lifelong joy, had become a source of daily frustration and grief. She described it as trying to read through a smudged windshield that no amount of cleaning could fix. Her retinal specialist had told her there was nothing to do but monitor the progression and hope it stayed slow. She told me she left that appointment feeling as if she had been handed a sentence. When she came to me, I introduced her to this bedtime protocol: the saffron and egg yolk preparation every night, the blueberries, the spinach, the pumpkin seeds, simple, affordable, consistent. 8 weeks later, she called my office. She was crying. She said, "Dr. Turner, I read an entire chapter last night. No fog, no smudging. I haven't been able to do that in almost 2 years. I want to be clear. I am not promising miracles. I am not claiming that saffron cures macular degeneration. What I am telling you is that your eyes have a remarkable capacity to protect and repair themselves when given the right nutritional support." Linda's story is not unique. I have seen it again and again, and the research supports what I've witnessed clinically. If this video has helped you today, smash that like button. It helps this information reach more people who need it. Now let me tell you exactly how to implement everything you've learned today into one simple, sustainable routine. Here is your bedtime vision protocol. Start tomorrow evening with this sequence. With your evening dinner, include 1 to 2 cups of spinach lightly sautéed in olive oil. Add a serving of eggs, prepared however you prefer, ensuring you keep the yolk. 1 hour before bed, eat half a cup of blueberries and 1 to 2 kiwi fruits. A small handful of pumpkin seeds, about 1 ounce, either alone or alongside the fruit. If you have carrots available, add 8 to 10 baby carrots with a drizzle of olive oil. 30 to 45 minutes before bed, prepare your saffron and egg yolk preparation as described. 4 to 6 strands of saffron steeped in warm water, whisked into 1 egg yolk. Within 3 days, you may notice your eyes feel less fatigued in the evening. Within a week, many people notice improved visual adaptation when moving from bright to dim environments. Within 2 weeks, colors may appear more vivid. Contrast sensitivity, your ability to distinguish objects from their backgrounds, often improves noticeably. Within a month, if your vision changes are nutritionally driven, you may find that tasks that had become difficult, reading, driving at dusk, recognizing faces, become measurably easier. Now let me share the 3 most critical mistakes I see people make when starting this protocol. First, don't expect overnight results and give up after 3 days. Your photoreceptor cells operate on a regeneration cycle. Meaningful tissue-level change takes consistent nutritional support over weeks, not days. Commit to 30 days before you evaluate results. Second, don't take the saffron without fat. Saffron's active compounds are fat-soluble. Without dietary fat present, a significant portion passes through your system without being absorbed. The egg yolk is not optional. It is the delivery mechanism. Third, don't ignore the rest of your diet while doing this protocol. Processed foods, seed oils, refined sugars, and excessive alcohol all create systemic inflammation that directly damages retinal capillaries and accelerates oxidative stress in ocular tissue. You can eat the most powerful vision foods in the world, but if you're simultaneously flooding your system with inflammatory compounds, you're fighting yourself. You're not broken. Your diet has been broken. Your information has been incomplete. That changes tonight. So let's recap what we covered today. 7 foods that can restore your vision starting tonight. Number 7, carrots for vitamin A and rhodopsin production. Number 6, kiwi for vitamin C and lutein absorption. Number 5, pumpkin seeds for zinc, the critical transporter of vitamin A to your retina. Number 4, blueberries for anthocyanins that regenerate visual pigment and strengthen retinal capillaries. Number 3, eggs for the most bioavailable form of lutein and zeaxanthin available in nature. Number 2, spinach and dark leafy greens for nitric oxide, improved optic nerve circulation, and high concentration carotenoids. And number 1, saffron paired with egg yolk for the only nutritional compound clinically shown to measurably improve photoreceptor function in patients with macular degeneration. My message today is not to frighten you. My message is to empower you. Most people accept vision loss as an inevitable part of aging. It doesn't have to be. Your eyes are biological tissue. Biological tissue responds to nutrition. You have more power over your vision than you've been led to believe. Here is my challenge to you. Commit to this bedtime vision protocol every night for 30 days. Just 30 days. Track how your vision feels. Note the changes. Keep a simple journal. At the end of 30 days, I think you'll have a very different conversation with yourself about what aging means for your eyes. I want to end with Linda. She still calls my office occasionally to check in. Last month, she told me she had just finished her third book of the summer. She said, "I almost gave up reading. I almost let them take that from me." She didn't give up, and neither should you. If this video helped you today, hit that like button. Subscribe to this channel for more honest, practical health information designed specifically for adults over 60. And please, share this video. Send it to a friend, a parent, a neighbor who's been quietly struggling with their vision. You might not realize how much that one click could mean to them. And now I want to hear from you. Which food from this list are you going to add to your routine first? Tell me in the comments. I truly want to hear your answer. Because remember, aging doesn't take away your body's ability to recover. It simply reminds you to care for it the right way. Take care of yourself.